Good evening, good people. It's time for NXT. I hope everybody had a good Raw Monday last night and a good Tuesday to boot. And we got 3 title matches tonight. One really, really big one. We have to find out who the new NXT champion is going to be. We might or might not get a new North American champion. We might even mess around and get some TNA Knockout Tag Team champions. But one thing's for sure, new NXT champion on the way. Will we get a new GM too? We are going to have an Ava-less NXT, which was just so abrupt. But here we are. I'm your host, Marked by Wrestling, and we are here then, now, forever together. Good to see you, Tyrell Breed. Let's see. Zach Minger, happy National Take a Cruise Day. Well, wish I'd known earlier. Dawsey, good to see you. The Bella Twins saw their shadow, so we get 6 more weeks of revisionist history. That is hilarious. Shawn Michaels talking to Robert Stone. Don't make it Robert Stone. Okay, so Robert Stone is the interim general manager. Robert Stone is a logical choice. He was already kind of helping with the job going into it, but well. Interim is a heavy operative word. All right, we're getting a video package of former NXT champions. Drew, Finn, Nakamura, Sammy. Yeah, I mean, I don't know really how on camera Regal wants to be. He did that little cameo to Yale War Games for CM Punk. But yeah, I think he probably just enjoys being backstage at this point. Yep, we got 7 men in the ladder match tonight, so it's going to be pretty crowded in that ring. George asking, I was thinking that since Liv Morgan cost Raquel, do you see Raquel costing Liv Morgan? I mean, that's a long way to wait to cost her, but maybe, there's a chance we might see that happen. I definitely see her sort of getting her shot back at Liv. I just wonder if she would wait that long till WrestleMania to do it, but we'll see. All right. Yeah. Nia Jax is Chris Van Vliet's latest interview. And she doesn't do a lot of interviews. So it was interesting to kind of hear him delve into some Nia Jax history with her. Hello, Lockwood and Sean Swaby. Yeah. Robert Stone, he was kind of a side character backstage with Ava. Oh, man. We've got entrances and everything. We're doing the North American title right now. We've already had ring entrances and everything. Izzy Dame in the ring with Thea Hale and Lola Vice. So go ahead and drop those picks right now. Would love to see Lola Vice take this, but I have a feeling they're just now getting started with Izzy Dame and she might retain. What's up, Shamanica? Good to see you as well. Yeah, I didn't know Nia had lost 100 pounds. She obviously had lost a fair amount of weight when she came back. All right, a lot of Izzy. Yeah. All right. Yeah, we've got Izzy, Thea, and Lola. Izzy with a definite height advantage over both ladies. Ooh, Izzy with Chelsea's help. If we see Chelsea tonight, that would be great. Depends. Or would we see Tatum? That's true. Sophie, no, Sean didn't give a certain amount of time. He did just say he would be the interim general manager for now. So, all right. We're throwing hands as Vic Joseph and Booker T are on the call tonight. Action starting off quick. A lot of taking turns with pinning combinations here. Moving fast. Yeah, I agree, Shamanika. I think Soul is a tailor-made challenger for JC Jane at this point. Throwing her out of the Royal Rumble, and she was already working her way up. Although Soul and Zarya have that tag title match tonight. Curious if they'll break apart here sooner rather than later. There's certainly a lot of tension there. Yes, the culling is in the house. We have Spears and Nico outside the ring, just kind of lurking around. See if they'll get involved. Oh, that's right. Tony should be giving his thoughts tonight as well, explaining his actions, which will be interesting considering that, Ava was so connected to that. Lola working on a few submissions here on Thea. Not getting too far, though. Thea going for a Kimura here. The crowd is vocal, but there's I don't know. There's a bit of restlessness. It feels like in the crowd. Diving double code breaker from Izzi. Ricky Saints arriving to the arena, or arrived earlier today. Hey, Chris Wrestling Views. Good to see you, man. Thanks for dropping in. This is live, Lockwood, so it's a live show tonight. Lola breaks up the pin for Thea. Lola laying in those shots on both ladies. Arm drag. And a drop kick from Thea. Izzy's taking shots. Whoa, Thea Hale dives and takes a Hurricane Rana, takes out Sean Spears. A diving Bronco Buster from Lola out to Izzy, but Thea standing tall now. All right, and that should likely send us to a break here. So, yeah, George, if Tatum shows up, I mean, that could absolutely lead to Izzy losing the title. I mean, I don't feel like they're quite done yet. Wonder if we'll get Finn versus Punk at Elimination Chamber. Yeah, they'll be in Chicago, so you would think that Punk is going to have something to do at Elimination Chamber, whether he's defending the title. They're certainly not done with Finn Balor yet. I mean, he had that promo last night, and even Punk addressed Finn straight to the camera when he was ignoring Roman Reigns. So anyway, yeah, I think that chapter's not over yet. Will they wrap it up before the match at Mania? We'll see. I don't know. It's okay if you don't have any interest in Roman and Punk, Lockwood. I mean, they've both been around for a while, even if they are kind of part-timing it from time to time. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I would rather Roman go after Punk than anybody else right now, because in a way they kind of cancel each other out. Like Punk, I'm really glad he's getting this run right now, but I just I don't know. I'm not always fully locked in for his matches once the bell rings at this stage in his career. And then, but at the same time, I really enjoyed the promo last night between the two of them. So, if we're gonna go promo heavy for 2 months with the two of them, that could be a lot of fun. Yeah, grudge match, 12 years in the making, Sean, for sure. Going all the way back, they went straight to that Colt Cabana podcast pretty quickly. And honestly, I liked Roman going to it because what doesn't get a whole lot of, a lot of people listen to that podcast and reference it in terms of Punk's bitterness and his unhappiness. But not a lot of people talk about that podcast and the effect that Punk's words had on the perception of Roman as a performer. It wasn't the only thing that impacted the perception of Roman in front of the audience, but it certainly played a role in it. So I'm glad. I'm glad that that was kind of addressed. So yeah, I thought that was good stuff. I think Becky versus AJ Lee would be far better at Elimination Chamber than it would be at WrestleMania. Again, being in Chicago, the crowd will be more amped to see it there. Yeah, Roman's. Yeah, I mean, yeah, Roman didn't even show up in person to announce his candidacy for the Rumble. So Tyrell, you think Logan is the masked man? I mean, listen, they're clearly doing something with Braun Breaker right now, with these attacks. And even though maybe he doesn't have a title right now or is not in a title match, it's clear that in WWE you can measure how over you are, at least with creative, by how much of a story you are being given to work with. Um, and Braun definitely has that right now. Oh yeah, 2011 Punk versus this Roman would have been something even more special. Meanwhile, Lola's got both ladies in opposite corners and she's dropping hips on both of them. Oh, and she keeps going back for more. Booker T having the time of his life, calling that action. Wow. Only a 2 count. Izzy Dame had a great shot. She jumped over Lola's body and drop kicked um, Thea out of the way and then dropped a senton onto Lola at the same time, which is a pretty good combo move there. Yeah, I'm pretty annoyed that they changed Stephanie Vicare's music. I mean, that really wasn't necessary. Um, yeah, hopefully whatever they're doing with LA Knight, this will be the last piece of him dealing with the vision. I think I could see him getting a match with one or two of them, leading up to Mania, and maybe they just kind of close that story at Mania would be great. Was LA Knight the masked man or Adam Pierce? Yeah, I mean, you know what? Just about everybody is an interesting thread. I think the safest choice and maybe the least exciting choice at this point is Seth Rollins, which is kind of funny. Lola Vice locked in a choke on Thea Hale, but again, with a senton, Izzy Dame breaks it up. Yeah, it's good the NXT title isn't being chosen. Yeah, for sure. That they tried it once, and it was what it was with Charlotte. All right, Lola's got another choke on Thea Hale, and Izzy not back in the ring yet. Money in the Bank on the NXT title sounds terrible. That sounds like the least uh interesting option. That's even worse than cashing it in on the US title, like Theory tried to do. Oh, who's here? Kalani's here to ruin Lola Vice's night. So it looks like Lola's night's gonna be done here. Oh, Kalani just slammed a ladder onto Lola's hand, and referees and security trying to get Kalani out of here. Kalani wearing a shirt that says "Really Her" on it. Roll up. Thea almost steals the title back. Thea trying to capitalize with that Kimura. But Lola's out. Stun gun from Izzy Dame. Dropping the throat on the top rope. And power bomb. Sit down power bomb. And Izzy retains. There you go. So that's that. That's your opening match. And Izzy retains the North American title. Semi-predictable fashion. Lola holding that wrist, though, after getting the ladder slammed on her hand. Yeah, it wasn't an awful match. I got to be honest. I was less interested in getting behind Thea Hale. I was more interested in seeing kind of Lola and Izzy one on one out of the three of them, and didn't really get a ton of that. Ren QCC talking to ZaRuca backstage. All right, ZaRuca says it's her turn now. Rosaria says it's her turn now. There's Tony D'Angelo walking around backstage. Definitely got to wonder if we're getting anything, any surprises here. I can't imagine the Elegance brand are dropping the tag titles to ZaRuca. I feel like we're just getting further and further away from Zarya getting a shot, So we'll see. I'm just gonna go make sure my door is unlocked. Give me just a second, everybody. All right, commercial break. You didn't know Soul was mixed? Yeah. Soul is comes from a biracial household. So happy Black History Month to ZaRuca as well. But yeah, that's right. Her dad is African American. Yeah, you know, I would rather see if we're going to keep tossing around the NXT TNA title partnership and everything. I would rather them see them take some chances and somehow put more NXT titles on TNA talent to kind of lift them up, because we've been through, you know, Trick Williams and Kalani Jordan and others, you know. But at this point, you know, I'd like to see the shoe on the other foot for a minute. But how many tag teams does TNA currently have for their Knockouts tag titles? I don't even know. So maybe there's not a lot of options there. But you're all right. So your team ZaRuca here, George. You know, I if it was like a month or two ago, I think I would have been all in with you. But at this point, now that we're post Rumble, like I'm ready to see ZaRuca break up. I'm sorry to say that, but yeah. Mm. Hey everybody, I've got an idea. So let's put the glasses on for a second. ZaRuca eventually gonna break up, whether because they're mad at each other or because it's just time for this to be over. Soul and JC Jane both had impressive showings at the Royal Rumble. What do you guys think of Stand and Deliver? First of all, ZaRuca breaks up before Stand and Deliver. JC Jane defends the NXT title in a triple threat match. JC Jane, ZaRuca, and Zarya. And Zarya wins the NXT women's title. Zarya wins the title, and Soul and JC are called up to the main roster. What do you guys think about that? Too soon for Soul and JC? I mean, I say called up to the main roster just assuming that they'll have something for them. I'm a big proponent of do not call anybody up from NXT unless you already have a plan in place for what you want to do. Just like Obafemi last night, sending the War Raiders packing all by himself. So, thank you, Michael Vasquez. Sean, you looked on the WWE website roster page and AJ Styles is still on it. Do you think he goes to TNA and then wrestles in NXT? I would love to see AJ get a match in TNA. Like, I mean, I would love for him to wrap it up, you know, whenever he's ready, right? And wrap it up there. I can't substantiate this. I heard someone say he's on a Legends deal though. Like that was announced at the post press conference or something like that, that he's on a Legends deal now. So like, I don't know if he does pop up in the ring somewhere that's not WWE. I imagine it won't be AEW. Like I think it'll be either TNA or maybe AAA. But yeah, I don't know. They are high on Soul, but you know, George, sometimes they're high on somebody and they're so high on them, they don't even wait around to put an NXT title on them. Look at Javon. They never did belt up Javon and they finally brought him up to the main roster without it. I just wonder if they would do the same for Soul because it seems like it's been Soul's time for so long, but she had those two mid card belts that whole time. So they weren't going to put all three of them on her, not with that deep of a roster. Who do we have here? Chase U. By the way, Uriah Connor's hanging out with the Nepo babies last week. Oh, here comes Stax and Lexus and Ariana. Claim his birthright. Cale Dixon looks like somebody hired to play John Morrison in a Netflix movie about John Cena. Uh-oh. Chase U versus Stax and Lexus. Can he trust Uriah Connors? Because that boy's a Finley and he loves to fight. What do we got here? A new entrance of sorts. Is this going to be Tony? Yeah. Tony's coming out a little like a 97 Sting. Not too fancy, a little emotionless. Yeah. Does AJ Styles come back but with a different name? No. If we see AJ Styles on TV, he'll be AJ Styles. I kind of like this theme though. It feels very Ruthless Aggression era to me. You merely adopted the darkness. I was born in it, molded by it. You think your ladders can save you? They expect more than one of us in the wreckage, brother. The title will be mine. It's not the best Bane impression, but I'll work on it. I'll need to watch Dark Knight Rises again sometime soon. Get it. Tom Hardy killed in that role. He was so good. Yeah, honestly, it's like the crowd saved their ovation for after the music was over. All right, Tony's mic'd up. Let's see what he got to say. Seven months, that long? Jeez. All right, so got things he's got to get off his chest. Is this going to be a Tony pipe bomb here? He said, "Turn the lights on." He wants to see everybody. He wants to look you in the eye when he gives his speech. Chance for Tony. How you doing? How you doing? Hmm. It is interesting, that his family betrays him, and now he's kind of doing the Sting thing, which is what led Sting to go into Crow Sting, feeling like WCW had turned their back on him. I'm gonna need Tony to turn up the heat on this promo, though. They're being the crowd's being very gracious to him right now. A main roster crowd would be wetting him to death right now. Okay. He got dropped by Dark State. Now he's trying to remember who he is. Okay. I listen. I want to. I want to be a fan of Tony, but I feel like he's taken forever to get to his point here. Tony came back for two reasons. Okay. Okay. Tony with the long pauses said, Dark State, you took everything from me, so now I'm going to take everything from you. Hmm. Reason number two, you'll find out when I'm done with Dark State. Depending on how quickly he wants to tell people, I've been wondering for weeks if he's just going to invade this ladder match tonight. And I tell you what would be wild is for him to ruin Dion Lennox tonight, who is in that ladder match, and take that title. Chris Wrestling views the interim GM of NXT as Robert Stone, which is a lateral move, probably the easiest, most predictable move they can make right now. But Shawn Michaels named him, and it does make sense for him to start there. And the fact that he chose to use the word interim tells me maybe they're trying to figure something else. So I'm all for them using Robert Stone in the intermediate time. Swaby, I want to get 2K26. I don't know that I'll be able to get it at launch this year. Just because the games keep getting more expensive and that's not so much in the budget. If I can get the budget right, maybe if I can get this channel high enough off the ground, I want to get the Monday Night War version because I want to be able, whenever I play 2K, I want to have a shot at getting every character that I can, minus the My Faction stuff. I hate the My Faction stuff, where to get a character, you have to complete an objective, but in order to even participate in the objective, you already have to have certain characters. And I don't rock with that. I don't like having to spend money just to get the character so I can try to get the other character. I don't mind win this kind of match or go through showcase or whatever to unlock stuff. I don't mind that at all, but like through My Faction where it requires more money being spent after they already charge so much, I don't care for that. And apparently I don't play Fortnite. My son does, but I guess it's like a battle pass style DLC instead of a season pass this year as well, which has got me a little nervous because I don't know if I can dedicate the hours to getting everything out. And that was the nice thing about the season pass is when something Elio LaFleur speed tournament. Did they announce that last week? All right, well we got a men's speed tournament match, and so we got 3 minutes with Elio LaFleur and Charlie Dempsey coming back next, which that's pretty dope. I kind of wish those guys would get more than 3 minutes because I'd be interested to see what they do. That's a rarity in NXT not plugging something like speed for this week. But there it is. Yeah, Anthony, I don't think Dion's taking this one. Yeah, I don't think so. All right, so while we are on commercial break, let me give you guys a question of the night. We've talked a little bit about Roman Reigns and CM Punk, but you know who took a beating last night and wasn't even in the ring? Drew McIntyre. Like, how many times are you going to say the WWE champion is so beatable? So we already know that Roman Reigns appears to be challenging CM Punk for the world title at WrestleMania. Who do you think will wind up with Drew McIntyre? And also, if you deviate from what you think is going to happen, tell me what you want to happen too. Like, who do you think we'll see wrestle for the WWE title? And who do you want to see wrestle for the WWE title this year at WrestleMania? So let's check that out. Well, the women's speed tournament, they did last time, right? I think it was the men's turn. I thought it was. Um, Okay, so Chris Wrestling these if you're curious or if you're new, not new, but like you haven't watched NXT in a few weeks. There is a guy that they called up from AAA called Elio LaFleur. He's a French luchador, basically. That feels like an oxymoron, but that's what he is. So anyway, he's pretty good. He made an impressive debut. Was it last week or 2 weeks ago? But very recently. And so yeah, him and Charlie Dempsey in a speed match when we come back from the break. So yeah, man, Drew was catching strays last night on the mic, and I think it was one too many. If I'm being honest, like they have Roman and Punk have enough hatred for each other. They don't necessarily need to bring Drew into it to take turns dragging on him. But we'll see on Friday. Drew can defend himself, so I mean, hopefully on Friday on SmackDown, Drew will have plenty to say. Anthony thinks Cody most likely. Sean says if Roman Reigns gets that World Heavyweight Championship and World Heavyweight Championship becomes the number one title. Yeah, I mean, if Roman gets that title and he shows up on TV with it, for sure, it's going to be getting the eyeballs, getting that sweet, sweet airtime for sure. Lockwood says, I think Cody and Jacob, I won't, oh, you want Oba to win the chamber? I want, I want to see Oba take Brock down at Mania personally. But you know what, man? With what he did last night, it's only a matter of time before they send him on a trajectory that's going to have him colliding with the champion sooner or later. So we'll see what happens. George says it's most likely going to be Cody Rhodes and Jacob Fatu challenging Drew McIntyre. Yeah, that's the interesting thing about Elimination Chamber being in between now and WrestleMania is we could be headed a whole different direction. Drew might not even be champion coming out of Mania. It's not Mania. Definitely not out of Mania, but out of Elimination Chamber. So I guess we don't really know for sure what we're going to get. What's up, B? Thanks for dropping in the chat. You want Oba and Lash to win King and Queen of the Ring. I like that, Shimonica, because that'll allow that to drag a little bit towards mid-year, and then you have title matches at SummerSlam. That's not bad. Not bad at all. All right, here's a video package on Jasper Troy now that we're back, the Speed Champion. Jasper Troy dropping a George Hackenschmidt. My goodness gracious. Yeah, I don't think Drew makes it to the end of WrestleMania as champion. I think WrestleMania is his final stop. Whether it's Cody, whether it's Jacob, whether it's somebody else, I think unless Drew really manages to captivate the oh man, double cross body right out of the gate here. Unless he manages to really captivate the attention of creative and the casual audience, which I love Drew. I think he's great, but I just don't see him lasting through Mania. That's just my guess. Yeah, I mean, it'll be a while. It will have been a while since the world title was the main event of WrestleMania. The last time they did that was WrestleMania 24. Undertaker and Edge was the last time it wasn't the WWE title going on last. Well, for Becky Lynch and Ronda Rousey and all them notwithstanding, but yeah. So it's only been 3 WrestleManias where the non WWE title was the main event. Again, not counting WrestleMania 35 with Becky and Charlotte and Ronda. So 4 WrestleManias, but only 3 times where it's been the world title. WrestleMania 20, Triple H, Benoit, Shawn Michaels. WrestleMania 21, Triple H, Batista, and WrestleMania 24, Edge and Undertaker. Interesting. Yeah, I wonder. Huh. Yeah, no, they always play around with the language about having a main event at WrestleMania and title shot and all this stuff. Curious how that will end up. Anyway, Dempsey and LaFleur have been going after it pretty hard here. We're coming down to the last minute of the match. Yeah, Jasper's got something, but he needs a little something extra. And I don't mean a chain to bring to the ring either. We're coming down to 30 seconds here. Uh, we're down to 20 seconds. I tell you what, they're going back and forth here. I don't know if they get a finish here. Oh, what a move. And LaFleur beats Dempsey with 7 seconds left. I don't even know how to describe that move, but I'll try. LaFleur jumped up with like he was about to do a flying head scissors, but he readjusted on the fly and dropped it um like a rough rider, that Zack Ryder used to do. That's wild. It's like a flying head scissors into a standing leg drop. That was nuts. And that's a move you could do on anybody as long as you can get up there. It's pretty dope. All right, so Eli Knight versus Josh Briggs next week to determine the number one contender match. In Atlanta, 3 weeks from tonight will be the speed match. Okay. Interesting, Tyrell. I didn't know that. Dempsey, the Nepo baby stable was approaching Dempsey. I think he could do something there. He does need a little bit of flash, just a little bit. Because his in-ring stuff is solid. Um, but yeah, he needs just a little bit of personality. Not a ton. Because I think his dry approach can work, but it's a little too dry. Curved ramps in 226. Interesting. Joe Hendry making his declaration trying to win tonight, but here comes ZaRuca. So we're getting right through these matches tonight. We're about to have our second of our 3 announced matches. I wonder how long the ladder match will go. I wonder how much TV time they'll dedicate to it. Yeah, if Joe Hendry became NXT champion, listen, I wouldn't be mad at it. The thing is that there's a lot. There's 7 competitors in this match. Oh, Zarya just kind of shoved Soul out of the way. They're already a little chippy. Um, there's 7 dudes wrestling for this title tonight in the ladder match. Zarya's already kind of healing on Soul tonight. Interesting. Anyway, 7 dudes wrestling for the ladder match, right? And between other than Ricky Saints and Joe Hendry, I don't know that any of the rest of them have, main event magnetism yet. I'm not saying they won't, but all the rest of those guys are pretty fresh, like pretty brand new. So I feel like Saints and I feel like Saints and Hendry might be the favorites to win. And I did suggest this earlier, and now that I think about it, they haven't um they haven't what do you call it? They haven't actually declared what show Royce Keys is on yet, have they? They haven't declared if he's on Raw or SmackDown because he showed up in the Royal Rumble, but he hasn't been claimed for one show or another yet, has he? I would be curious to know that because he could because when we found out that Powerhouse Hobbs was coming to WWE, one of the things I said was he wouldn't be a bad sort of bodyguard enforcer type role for Ricky Saints. But now that he's already entered the Rumble all on his own accord, I think it would be a backseat to debut him as somebody's bodyguard. But anyway, I guess it's not completely out of the realm of possibility that he's not going to be in NXT, but chances are he might be SmackDown. Yeah, I mean, I think Hobbs starting in NXT wouldn't be a bad thing. He doesn't have to be there long. I think it's just a matter of getting him used to kind of WWE specific production and things like that instead of making him I guess instead of making him start, in the deep end of the main roster. Yeah, I mean, yeah, if Royce came and helped out Ricky, I wouldn't be mad at that. It would be an unanticipated way to cap off the night tonight. But we'll see what happens. We will see what happens. Yeah, Lockwood, I agree. Wrestlers in the style of Gunther and Charlie can work in any era. It's just always making sure you tap into whatever it is about them that can connect with the audience. And when the bell rings, they can do their thing for sure. Yeah, I agree with that. Oh, yeah, Thatcher too. Man, Thatcher was nasty for sure. All right, we're about to come back to this Knockouts tag team title match with Soul and Zarya taking on the Elegance brand. Is anybody predicting ZaRuca to take the belts here? I'd be very curious if you feel that way. I got a feeling Elegance is just going to hold on to it, but we'll see. Yeah, Oba at 1 and Gunther at 30. They really, we give Triple H grief because he likes to spam the phrase "new era" a lot. But he tried to discuss it at the press conference, the post-show panels, and he really did put over how many new stars really made an impression at the Rumble. So I can't fault him there. Cody on the Undertaker and Mrs. Undertaker podcast. Back when he was still champion. We're getting a Rumble recap. And NXT. There's exactly what I was talking about with Hunter putting over NXT. Yeah, putting over Javon. Lola Vice in the Women's Rumble. JC Jane, of course. Yeah, Shamanika, I'm with you. She got to snatch Zarya and got to snatch JC. Jordan Grace, Kalani Jordan. Oh, yeah. Trish was good on Stephanie's podcast. Okay. There's that soul snatcher on JC. And that double snatcher on Liv and what's her name? Tiffany. Trick Williams and Lash Legend. both Bellas wins and Io Sky. Oh, and they're taking time to put some shine on Oba here as well. Probably not since Brock have I seen such superlatives hurled onto a guy this early in his main roster career like Oba. Oh, well, Elegance brand coming right out. I wonder if the show is running a little not on time because they've had multiple like entrances like in commercial break tonight. I feel like they're wanting to make sure they save as much time as possible for this ladder match. Yeah, for sure. The Bellas can't pull twin magic the way they once could, for sure. Yeah, I think they want to give themselves time to go long if they need to in the ladder match. You never know. Oh yeah, they definitely put it on Lash at the Rumble. She had a great showing. Oh, there's Sonya Deville. Daria Ray, excuse me. So she's present in the crowd. Yeah, Chris, that concierge man, he's a little much, isn't he? All right, Zaria's in first with one of the elegances. I don't know that I'm going to put in the effort to learn which elegance person is who. I only know Ash enough, and that took me a while to get used to. The former Dana Brooke. Oh, Soul steals a tag. Yeah, Zaria's already chirping at ZaRuca. She's not happy with her. Booker T. Only Booker T trying to heal on ZaRuca would say 50 minutes in the Rumble. What a camera hawk. That's amazing. Oh, I love it. That sounds like some Jesse Ventura stuff right there. Big boost from the crowd to Elegance brand here. 6-woman tag coming up this Thursday, George. Okay, so Ash is she's back in action? Were they chanting Timu something at the Elegance brand? Man, roll through vertical suplex into a hanging vertical suplex from Zarya. Impressive. She's really strong. Jumping knee there from Zarya. Heather and M. Oh, diving boot there from M. And lots of booing from the crowd as it looks like maybe we're headed to break. Okay. Well, there we go. The Elegance brand in control as we're on break right now from the match. So, yeah, lots of things popping on Raw last night, huh? Obafemi just straight up steamrolling the War Raiders. What a shock that was. I found it funny. I spent a brief amount of time on social media today and immediately regretted it. There were all the same accounts who were sitting there complaining they did Oba wrong in the Rumble and by letting Brock eliminate him. He should have won. He should have been even more dominant. Trying to get up all in their feelings, acting like they've always been fans of the War Raiders, and how dare they do that to a seasoned tag team like that. And I was like, man, you guys find anything to complain about. It is sad and ridiculous. Modfather's got himself a question of the week coming on in. Modfather question of the week: which pay-per-view would you bring back? Taboo Tuesday, Armageddon, Unforgiven, No Mercy, Judgment Day, or Vengeance? You know what, man? I would go with Taboo Tuesday. I love the voting concept. Maybe I wouldn't put it, maybe Cyber Sunday. I don't know that I would bring back the Tuesday unless they, well, I would say unless they did it on NXT, did it Taboo Tuesday, but I don't know they have a deep enough roster to have multiple matches with voting involved at this stage. Maybe a year ago, it would have been even better. But yeah, I'd love to see the Taboo Tuesday, Cyber Sunday gimmick brought back for the main roster. It could be a lot of fun for, especially for like your mid card titles and stuff like that. Maybe stipulations for the world titles, that kind of stuff. I think it would be a good fun, and especially you could get maybe a good 5 or 6 matches out of that show instead of it being like a four card match. I think that would be great. Yeah, if you did Judgment Day, it would be kind of like the old In Your House Degeneration X. Like the show would have to center around Judgment Day. Good call though. Okay, there's a lot of diversity of thought in the answers to this question. Good question. Good question, Modfather. Sorry, guys. The caffeine's not caffeining tonight. Fully loaded. I remember that one as well. I do miss the days when they more consistently had like a unique stage and set for every show. I understand that they kind of make it generic now so they can open up more seats and sell more tickets. And I get that from a business standpoint. But I do miss the days where Armageddon and Survivor Series and Judgment Day, like they all had just random, uniquely visual stage sets, which that was always pretty cool because it was fun because you could do that in the video game too, and have interactive things in the video game, which would be fun to do. All right, so yeah, the story here right now in the match, Elegance brand back in control. Zarya has had opportunities to tag Soul back out, but she's not doing it because she's trying to do it on her own. Yes, the Great American Bash. WCW actually used to do great jobs of show-specific stages back in the day. They had things like Spring Stampede and Bash at the Beach and Halloween Havoc. And great stuff there. It's always a lot of fun. Zarya still refusing the tag. Another code breaker there by Elegance. Crowd chanting, "We want Soul." See Sean Legacy getting ready for his title match tonight, the ladder match. Zarya and M both clotheslining each other down, trying to get back to their feet. And Soul finally tags herself in, taking matters into her own hands. And now she's a House of Fire trying to take down the Elegance brand, seeing if they can win another title. Only 2 pin attempt from Soul. They're doing the wave in the arena, which you would think is a sign of disrespect, but I think it's just surf gimmick compatible for Soul. Blind tag. I don't think Soul realizes that M has made the tag. Moonsaults from Heather. And now M going up top with another moonsault, but she eats all mat. Soul with a springboard, but Zarya makes the tag. And now Soul shoving Zarya. Uh-oh. They're shoving each other here now. Soul and Zarya now with a double spear. Now got her up in the F5. Oh no. Soul just hit Zarya with a soul snatcher by accident. And Soul's thrown into the steps by Ash. And Zarya is out cold from that soul snatcher. And oof. Elegance brand hitting a tandem finisher. That's going to be it. So Zarya had one of the Elegance brands in the F5 position. The other one shoved her, or trying to save her partner, shoves her away. And then in being shoved away, Zarya runs toward the corner and catches a soul snatcher, which Soul was already going up, trying to hit the other. Okay, I see what happens. So one Elegance brand was running towards the soul snatcher. When that happened, Ash low bridged the rope to get her to fall out of the ring. At the same moment, the one who was up in the F5 position drops down and shoves Zarya towards Soul. That was a pretty clean finish there. I got it. Clean spot. Daria here to award the titles to the Elegance brand, congratulating them. Yeah, Unreal doesn't really go into the spots here. Meanwhile, we have Cobra Kai and Ethan Page, Vanity Project, whatever they're called. But you know that the wrestlers they'll go over their complicated spots together um, when they have a match. So I imagine they talk through it. They probably they probably do get some kind of a heads up from the ref, probably when it's time to go to the spot. I don't know. Vanity Project and Ethan Page just all patting each other on the back. Coming up now, question 2: which PPV had the best stage? SummerSlam 07, King of the Ring 02, Taboo Tuesday 05. I'm going to try to get you guys some visual aids for Modfather's question here. As we get a commercial for 2K25. All right, let's see if we can actually make this work here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so here are your choices. King of the Ring 2002, you can make that the old electric chair shot there. I think so. It's pretty wild. SummerSlam 2007, nice little beach motif. Feels very Bash at the Beach, WCW, you know, not so bad. And then Taboo Tuesday, so known as Cyber Sunday, which actually I'm going to hide Modfather's question so you can see there's also a keyboard there as well. Very, very dial-up connection style early days of the internet, you know. I think out of all those, I would say King of the Ring 02 is probably my favorite stage out of them all, if you asked me. But all very distinct stages, though, and that's the thing is distinction. And you know what, Royal Rumble there in Riyadh had a very distinct look to it, and it looks like they still do that sort of thing for for WrestleManias and sometimes for SummerSlams and stuff too. But yeah, I really enjoyed, and even though there were ups and downs for Mania last year, I enjoyed the Mania stage though. Mania stage was great, and I think another shot in Vegas. I think they'll have another good one too. But yeah, the Rumble setup, actually the Rumble stage this year kind of reminded me of the WrestleMania 20 stage. I don't know if you guys remember that one, but let me see if I can pull that one up real quick. Let me see if I can add that one to the list. You just made the list. Yeah, so a little bit of a prototype shot here. The WrestleMania 20 stage here, the kind of skyline, the New York skyline there, a little similar to what they had with Riyadh. But yeah, loved the Rumble stage this year. It was pretty cool. Yeah, Swaby, I agree. I tried to touch on that earlier in the show. Like, I get why some of them are almost minimalist, because the product is so hot right now. They can actually open up more seats to sell more tickets, and that's not the worst reason to stay away from those stages. But I do wish we could still get a little more creativity um, from the stages because they still do it for the really big shows. Maybe they have more. I guess it's because they have more space to work with when they do that. But I don't know. RT Rick, welcome to the chat, my friend. We are here. We still do not have a new NXT champion yet. We don't have that ladder match yet. But Izzi Dame retains the North American title. The Elegance brand retained the tag titles after more bickering and oopsie daisies from ZaRuca. And still a ladder match yet to come as well. Elio LaFleur in a speed match defeated Charlie Dempsey with about 7 seconds left in the match, which for a 2-minute and 53-second match, banger stuff. So we're getting a little earlier in the day, actually. Miss Parker. I didn't see this. Oh, Jada got attacked by Blake Monroe right out here in front of everybody, in front of the merch truck and everything. Blake snatching her up too. Dang. Okay, Blake. Beat down at the food truck. I know that's right. Okay, so here we have Chase U versus Lexus King and Stax Lorenzo. This match made earlier in the night backstage as Uriah Connors from Chase U is entertaining an offer from the Nepo babies of NXT. Yes, indeed. Kick right to the back as Dixon was coming off the ropes. Dion Lennox getting fired up backstage very quietly. Connor's going strong. We have not seen a Royce Keys appearance. Interestingly enough, they showed the Royal Rumble like video package of Triple H kind of putting over NXT talent and new talent and all that stuff, and they didn't mention him in that. So no appearance from him tonight, vocally or visually. A dream match of yours for Gunther with anyone from a previous era of wrestling? That's a great question. Honestly, I'd love to see Gunther versus like Surfer era Sting. I think they could have a great match together. Gunther and Ricky Steamboat could have a great match together. Gunther and Eddie Guerrero would have a great match. Honestly, Gunther and Booker T from his WCW days, I think would be really good too. What do you guys think? Attacking Tony D 7 months ago was a big mistake. Gunther and Regal. Oh, yeah. That would be nasty work. Gunther and Finley. Kurt Angle, of course. Yes. Gunther and Mr. Perfect would have been good too. Alexis King hits the coronation on Cale Dixon. And Chase U done. Abdullah the Butcher. Oh, man, what a bloody match that would have been. Gunther and JBL. That'd have been a fun team, too. Oh, Connor's Stax is not a Nepo baby. Stax is married. Well, he's engaged to Ariana Grace, who's a Nepo baby. She's the Nepo baby, not him. And Connor's just bailed. He just bailed on Cale Dixon, and he's leaving, and he's catching up with the other guys. There we go. Barry Windham would be been a great match with Gunther. Yes. JC Jane and Fatal Influence when we come back from the break. I wonder if they will if we'll get a vision into her next contender. We shall see. Gunther and Brett. Yeah, Brett, not a fan of the chops, is Brett, huh? Oh my, oh my. Gunther and Kobashi. Talk about chops. Yeah. Okay. Wahoo. Man. Dude, Gunther and Diesel, I don't know. I feel like that match would go off the rails. Now, Wahoo and Gunther, talk about chops. That'd have been nutty. Actually, you know what? Now thinking too, like maybe Magnum TA or Nikita Koloff against Gunther. Nikita was a little greenish, but 90s Shawn Michaels. Yeah, he would be bumping like crazy for Gunther for sure. Not for nothing either, but early era Big Boss Man was an agile big man. Him and Gunther could have had a lot of fun too. Yeah. You also, if it was going to be the 80s too, you probably have Gunther and Sergeant Slaughter. You probably could have pulled that match off. Yeah, I mean in the 80s, if Gunther was there, Vince probably would have put him with Sheik and Volkov. Love to put all those foreigners together. Gunther and Duggan could have had a fight too. I know he was a little bit of a punchline in WWE, but like UWF, Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Oh, Gunther and Vader would have been nasty work. Gunther and Terry Gordy would have been nasty, or Dr. Death Steve Williams. Interesting. You know what, Swaby? I don't know about Typhoon, but Earthquake. John Tenta was far better than how he was presented most of the time. Um, so I think they could surprise a lot of people going through an Earthquake. Not into Doctor Death. I didn't follow him so much as a single, but like in retrospect, seeing him and Gordy as a tag team in '92 was just, especially their stuff with the Steiners, was just nasty work, man. It's like watching a car crash. Just just some of the snuggest stuff I've ever seen. Costco versus JC. All right, we're coming back from the break, and we got Fatal Influence in the ring. Gunther and Steiner. Oh man, yeah, for sure. All right, JC, let's hear what you got to say. Probably bragging about the Rumble. Gunther and Piper, the promos would be a lot of fun, and that match would just be chaotic. Just throwing hands. Mm. JC Jane trashing on Kalani Jordan. Mm. I know. The speed title doesn't quite have the same shine as the North American title. Mm. No, yeah, deepest women's division. We're far past the Divas division. Someone from TNA, that's not a bad thing. Because Soul clearly has her in her sights, but she's still dealing with Zarya. So we'll see. I don't know when JC's getting called up. I mean, I feel like again, it's a two-headed beast, right? It's are you ready to be called up, and do they have something for you to do when you get called up? And I think she's ready to be called up from an NXT standpoint. I just wonder if they have anything for her yet. Oh, Zarya's calling it coming out. Here we go. So JC was clearly about to challenge Soul, and Zarya ain't gonna let it happen. Maybe they do it now. Well, not now, but instead of not wait until stand and deliver. All right, crowd's behind. I think they're behind anybody beating JC Jane. They're behind Zarya. Mm. Mm. Everybody loves Soul. They only tolerate you. Oh, Kendall's here. We better not fool around. We might end up with another ladder match. Kendall and Ren coming out together. Maybe so, Sean. You may be right. Give Ren a chance, the crowd is chanting. It's so easy to dunk on Zarya these days, but here comes Soul now. Finally, looks like the interim GM is coming to speak on it. Okay. Next week. Mm. Okay. All right. Tag match Ren QCC and ZaRuca. Whoever gets the winning fall gets the title shot against JC Jane in Atlanta, which is where we'll also get the speed defense. Okay. Good call, Robert Stone. I could see Ren sneaking that out. I feel like, yeah, I do. I feel like it won't be Kendall, and it might not be Soul. I think it might be Zarya or Ren, if I'm being honest. Because if we're legit gonna get Soul versus JC, I don't know that they're just gonna put it on weekly TV. I think that'll be a PLE match, you know. But we'll see what happens. Kalani backstage. Okay. How's Lola Vice going to knock out anyone with a broken hand? That was Kalani's whole rationale, and we are starting entrances with a half hour left in the show. So looks like our last half hour will be dedicated to finding a new NXT champion. Boy, they really got those ladders out there fast. When you think about how quickly the ring was filled with ladies. All right, guys. Drop your predictions. You got 7 to choose from. Is it Ricky Saints? I'm going to try to do this from memory. Sorry. Is this going to be Joe Hendry or Dion Lennox or Shiloh Hill or Sean Legacy or two other guys, Jackson Drake or Keanu Carver? Um, I'm trying to decide between Ricky Saints and Joe Hendry. If I'm being honest, I think it may be Ricky. I think it's going to be Ricky Saints. Actually, I take it back. Write it down. I'm picking Joe Hendry because Joe's biggest enemy in the match is going to be Dion Lennox, and Tony D is still there somewhere. Yeah, Tony D is still in there somewhere looking for Dark State. Shamanica, it's being kind of accepted that it was the Vanity Project that attacked Joe Hendry. All right, here comes Dion Lennox. Listen, Dion's still got some room to grow, but I tell you what, man, that spine buster is clean. The great spine buster. And I respect a good spine buster. Not for Joe, Anthony. Who do you want to see, Anthony? Last name says Dion. George says Joe. Vanity Project making their entrance now, too. I don't know if you guys are in commercial or picture in picture, but here comes Jackson Drake, the Evolve champion. I can't imagine he's going to win. It would be all kinds of insane if you had an Evolve champion and an NXT champion at the same time, especially this dude Jackson Drake being that guy. His music sounds like the those animals in the Madagascar movies. You know, the King Julian. Sounds like something they would dance to. Well, I like to move it, move it. Here comes Shiloh Hill, which would be another absolutely insane choice to be the face of the brand. I wouldn't hate Shiloh Hill as Evolve champion, if I'm being honest. But as NXT champion right now, no. All right. Shiloh's getting excited. Here comes the Marshawn Lynch of NXT, Keanu Carver. Or do they pronounce it Keanu? From Washington, D.C. And bro dresses like 85 Mike Tyson, dude. Keanu Carver. Yeah, Ricky Saints to get a proper reign. I don't disagree, Shamanica. I think now that lemurs, yes, Dossie, that's what the animal's called. Oh, Ren QCC talking to Charlie backstage. What an interesting time to put this interview segment. Oh, here come the Nepo babies recruiting Charlie. Okay, he doesn't give an answer to Lexus King, but they're still trying to recruit. I can't blame him. If you're putting together a group of Nepo babies in NXT, you want to go for Regal's kid for sure. You know, with Oba, Trick, and Javon being gone, though, Shmonka, you're absolutely right. Ricky could be poised to have a really, a really stout title reign. All right, next week, Jada Parker and Blake Monroe. We get Miss Parker one-on-one with the Glamour. And then the tag team match between ZaRuca and Ren QCC. Ren QCC is the official name of their tag team now. Yes, indeed. Follow the advice of RT Rick. If you're new to the channel, join the conversation, join the fun, like and subscribe, please. And here he comes. Somebody said his name, Joe Hendry, making his way to the ring for a ladder match. Make sure you like that video tonight. Join the channel. We're getting closer and closer each day to unlocking memberships, unlocking super chats, unlocking the Marked by Wrestling store. It's going to be a lot of fun. Booker T. Booker is singing word for word. I believe in Joe Hendry. Booker just flat out singing theme songs is slowly becoming one of my favorite parts of NXT every week. He's like, give me my Grammy, man. Love it. All right. It's a madhouse. Ricky Saint's kind of hiding outside the ring. Keanu Carver just tossing people, though. Oh, boy. Keanu body slams Sean Legacy onto a ladder already. And it's Jackson Drake. Now he gets the Blue Thunder Bomb onto a ladder. And now, Keanu is about to powerbomb Shiloh Hill, but he gets backdropped onto the ladder right on the small of the back, too. Oh, Keanu. Using the ladder to clothesline him, and out he goes. It's got to suck, RT. You're absolutely right, man. Those ladders, man, they don't give, dude. There's no easy way to take a bump onto a ladder. Big spear from Ricky Saints onto Joe Hendry. All right. Oh, geez. I'm not sure what just happened there. Ricky Saints was setting up a ladder in the corner. Jackson Drake came along looking like he was trying to like stinger splash Saints, but I don't know if he just didn't get all of it and had to sell missing it or what. It was sloppy. Ricky, I know you ain't trying to do old school right now during a ladder match. It's not a good call. But yeah, the double tornado DDT was clean. Good looking move from Ricky. Joe with the ladder. Smacks Ricky, smacks Legacy, smacks Keanu. Joe does the spin with the ladder. Zoom in, set up the ladder. But Jackson Drake now interfering. Now Jackson Drake setting up the ladder and starting to climb, but pulled down by Joe Hendry. Drake trying to climb up again. He's got long legs, dude. He's already at the top of the ladder. But Joe Hendry already on the at the ladder, tipping it backwards. And Drake feats a face full of rope. Powerbomb coming up. And Drake launched out of the ring, powerbomb style, and wipes out like 4 guys. And Hendry dives over the rope, knocks out 4 guys as well. All right. Well, we are going to break with that. And so far, good start. Good start to the ladder match. Now, Friday on SmackDown, we should have some more things coming up. Um, and more excitement as well now that we're on the road to WrestleMania. Yeah, it's been a good match so far. So since I'm running the VPN with Netflix, I'm seeing some action. If it's anything particularly impressive happens, I'll be sure to report it. Right now, Joe Hendry and Keanu Carver are both battling over trying to climb up the ladder. They're the only ones in the ring. There's 2 ladders set up, though. Man, Gunther and Big E would have been very interesting. That would have been an interesting matchup for sure, with Big E's power and just the way he could ragdoll men around. I think that could have been really, really interesting. I'm really bummed out that Big E. I mean, we're all that's an understatement. We're bummed out that Big E's career got cut short, but he also got cut short like not so soon after losing the title too. Like, so he never even got a shot to maybe get another chance, you know? And I feel like out of anybody in the New Day, that he would have had the best chance at getting another run if anybody was going to in the New Day. Big E being Hobbs' manager, man, that's a whole lot of meat. There's no bread, no water, as Booker T would say. Oh, be back from break in about 2 minutes here. Just a lot of ladder fake outs right now. Keith Lee and Gunther would have torn the ring down for sure. With Keith being so big and just shaking everything, man, he would throw so much of his weight around. Wonder if this new version of Tony D is going to be in 26. He should, man. I don't know what the turnaround is on getting somebody rendered into the game, but he absolutely should. Because all you really have to do is just change his gear. You don't have to change his moveset or really his hair that much if you don't want to. Send Hobbs after the New Day. That's not a bad proposition right there. I think, when you watch wrestling for a long time, you're conditioned to expect wrestlers to look a certain way or to dress a certain way in the ring. And every time I see Jackson Drake, I notice he doesn't wear knee pads, which is really weird because he wears those like Chris Jericho, AJ Styles style boots with the shin pads on them, but he doesn't wear knee pads. And it's just a visually disarming look. Sean Legacy with the standing Spanish fly. Cesaro and Gunther. It's interesting you should put that. I think there's a Cesaro Gunther match on the WWE Vault because they wrestled one-on-one on a European tour one time. And I think the WWE Vault uploaded that match a couple of months ago. I haven't seen it, but I remember seeing it like advertised. Well, we're back now. Everybody should be back up to speed as we are attempting to crown a new NXT champion. That's true. Whoa, Keanu Carver just ripped a ladder in half. Now grabbing Shiloh Hill off the steps. Gets taken down by Sean Legacy. Ooh, basement dropkick to the ladder knocks out Shiloh Hill. Sean Legacy taking out all comers and trying to get a window open to be able to climb that ladder. Salida del Sol. Sliced bread. Yeah, Salida del Sol is seated. All right, Legacy trying to make that climb now. And of course, there's Jackson Drake. Oh, we've got a ladder set up bridge style outside the ring across the announce table. Didn't see that happen. Dion, Lennox, and Joe Hendry both wrestling over a ladder outside the ring. But right now, Legacy and Jackson Drake battling at the top of the ladder. And here comes Shiloh Hill using the broken ladder as stilts, walking his way over to the occupied ladder. Shiloh, man, what a wacky dude. And now can he make his way from the stilts to the... Oh, Keanu Carver just splitting that ladder in half. And now he's got Shiloh on his shoulders. Oh, Doomsday Device. Dion Lennox takes advantage. And Dion Lennox sends Keanu out the ring and then grabs Jackson Drake and slams him down. Dion, no, he's not alone in the ring. Ricky Saints just come in. Shiloh is still new. He came from LFG, so he was the LFG winner for season 2. So he's still really new. Dion hit that spine buster onto Ricky Saints, onto the ladder. Joe Hendry's coming to run in. Well, cameraman completely lost that shot. Chokeslam, standing ovation onto the ladder. Now Joe's alone. Joe's going to try to climb up. This is the hard thing of having 7 dudes here, man. Like, there's just always somebody to interrupt you. I'd be crashing out if we were playing 2K right now. You just can't get all of these guys preoccupied at the same time. You can't incapacitate them all. You just got to be kind of lucky. Wow. A springboard swanton to the back of Sean Legacy and Jackson Drake climbing up. I know, we need Tony D. Ricky Saints in to tip over the ladder. Can he do it? Now here comes Keanu. If I'm Jackson Drake, just grab the belt, dog. Ladder match logic can really get on your nerves here after a while. Keanu's got Jackson Drake and a run-in. Oh, nope, powerbomb countered into Hurricane Rana, sends Keanu out of the ring. Now Jackson Drake climbing the top rope. Why are you doing this, dude? Climb the ladder, dude. Swanton to the outside. Knocks out 4 dudes. Got another break? Seriously? For a ladder match? Oh my gosh. Gunther and Mankind. Man, yeah, that would be wild. Crowd's loving it. Jackson Drake again trying to make headway on this ladder. The thing about Jackson Drake is that he's got deceptively long legs, so it actually doesn't take him very long to get to the top of the ladder. So he has to go even smaller. Like he has to take even smaller steps and take even longer to climb up. And it really kind of shows after a while. Because he could actually get to the top of the ladder in like 3 steps. Because his first time in the match trying to climb the ladder, he got up to the top way too fast. All right, now. Keanu Carver, Dion, and Shiloh all in the ring. Shiloh looked like he was going to help Keanu Carver, then thought better of it, decided to help Dion instead. I think he saw Keanu as a bigger threat. Now Shiloh and Dion Lennox, the only 2 in the ring, both looking at the ladder. Now they're throwing hands. I imagine Shiloh's tooth got to go flying at some point. Oh, Dion into the ladder. Oh, geez. Double clothesline was just smacked each other. Crowd definitely into this. All right, Shiloh trying to make a go of it. You can see Joe Hendry's up, but he's occupied on the outside of the ring. Oh, I just realized we're still on break. So we'll be back in about 20 seconds. I mean, this has been a good ladder match for NXT standards. The thing is it's just a showcase. It is showcasing how young everybody in this match is. So I would be shocked if it's anybody but Ricky Saints or Joe Hendry, maybe Dion Lennox winning this match. If it's anybody but those three, I mean, my mouth will probably drop. All right, we should be in the home stretch of this match now, I think. Wonder if we'll see Tony D, because he's made his intentions known that he is targeting Dark State, and Dark State's got somebody in this match. Oh man, wow! Somersault into Senton into the ladder that's being held by Keanu Carver by Shiloh Hill, and Shiloh about to go toothless. Get ready to train the dragon. Toothless Shiloh Hill coming at it. Big knee to the face of Keanu Carver. Man, just drops a ladder onto Carver repeatedly. I think he just said bury him. They're stacking ladders on the body of Keanu Carver. There's 5 or 6 ladders or more stacking on top of a car. How many ladders do they have? Somebody's bleeding. I'm not sure. Oh, geez. One ladder goes screaming down to the mat and almost caught Joe Hendry in the head. Gasp from the crowd. Shiloh Hill doing the Tommy Dreamer ladder bit, swinging the ladder around and clacking people in the head. I don't know who's bleeding. I haven't seen. I haven't seen yet where the blood's coming from. Jackson Drake with a weak ladder shot to the back. Boy, I tell you what, Jackson Drake is getting a lot of attention in this match. He's getting a lot of face time with being in the middle of the ring. There goes Sean Legacy. Oh, no. Sean Legacy going for a springboard on the outside. Drake is on the ladder. Springboard 450 onto Jackson Drake, onto the ladder. He didn't quite get high enough. It might have been the knee to Carver. Oh, it looks like Jackson Drake's side is cut. Like he's got a cut on his rib. I think that's where the blood is. He must have got cut by one of the ladders. Sean Legacy and who else is on the other side of that ladder? Dion Lennox, both reaching for the belt now. And they're swinging. Oh, Sean Legacy pulling the Pete Dunne here, breaking the fingers of Dion Lennox, climbing up for the belt, but nope. Now Dion doing the same to Legacy. Jackson Drake climbing up a second ladder, as is Shiloh Hill. All four men climbing, reaching for the belt. Shiloh's got a hand on the belt. Oh, no, he doesn't. Oh, it's a tattoo. My bad. Hendry still laid out on the floor. Carver still underneath the ladders. I don't see Ricky Saints anywhere. Legacy is hanging off the side of the ladder, and he's down. Dion's by himself. Dion's got, who's here? Joe Hendry grabbing Dion. There's still a ladder bridged in between the ring apron and the announce table too that hasn't been used yet. Crowd chanting, "We believe." We got about 5 minutes left in the broadcast. Let's see if we're going home. Oh, no. Dion throws Joe out of the ring, but Joe grabs him by the legs, drags Dion out of the ring. Into the ring post. Joe still on his feet. Crowd is noisy. Carver's getting up. Carver is up underneath the burial of ladders. A&B combos, we believe. Keanu Carver's starting to collect bodies. He's throwing pounces everywhere. Could he make his way to the ladders? Uh-oh. And he sends Sean Legacy through the barricade, through the NXT sign. Now there's Ricky. Carver just straight up killing. But Ricky's in the ring. Ricky's trying to get on that ladder, but here comes Carver. Carver grabs Ricky. He's got him. Ricky Saints and Keanu Carver, the only two in the ring, on two separate ladders next to each other. Ricky very close to the title. Keanu close to the title too, but he's on the other ladder. So he's further away than Ricky. Keanu's getting that old school Vader vibe, though. The "I fear no man, I feel no pain." Uh-oh. Wow. Oh. Ricky Saints just tipped over Keanu's ladder, and he went through the suspended ladder on the outside of the ring. And Keanu's done. And Ricky is by himself on the ladder. He's aura farming. Grab that belt, dude. He's sitting here. No, Joe Hendry snuck up behind him. He snuck up behind him. He was strutting for too long. And now Joe's got his hand on the belt, but Ricky's going for the belt too. They're both on top of the ladder. They're both pulling for the belt. This is almost like the finish that Triple H wanted LA Knight and Seth to do with Money in the Bank. They keep swinging back and forth. There's nothing to catch Joe Hendry, but there is a ladder suspended behind Ricky Saints. Ricky hits the ladder. He's gone. Joe Hendry, do you believe, is the new NXT champion? From Obafemi to Joe Hendry. The music is still great. That's about all they have in common. From TNA champion to NXT champion. Joe. And we get a concert from Booker T on commentary. You love it. The Booker T. I know not everybody was rocking with Joe for this match, but a lot of y'all were. And I think it's a good first choice. I think it's a good first choice for next champion. And we'll see who's ready to take a shot at the champ, at Joe Hendry. Will it be Joe? Not Joe, excuse me. That's Joe. Will it be Tony D? once Tony D is done, I think once Tony D is done with Dark State, he's going to come after that belt. All right. All right, Joe. The first WWE gold for Joe Hendry is NXT champion. Well, that really picked up towards the end. A stacked show tonight for sure. And as always, they're giving us a lot to look forward to for next week as well. Really good show. And the women's tag match next week to determine JC's next contender looks really interesting. The speed tournament will continue as well. We get Miss Parker and Blake Monroe. So I think the ladies, might steal the show next week. And now we have a brand new NXT champion, and his name is Joe Hendry. So, yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. We'll have to get some marked moments up to vote on your favorite moment. By the way, marked moments for the Royal Rumble and for Raw are already up on the page as well. Make sure you voice your opinion on that as well. What moments made you mark out the most on the Royal Rumble and on Monday Night Raw last night? And I'll bring up NXT soon as well. But until then, guys, thank you so much for joining me. Love having you guys around. Appreciate it so much. Take care of yourselves. We'll have to take a look at see if we can make Friday Night SmackDown happen, as we are now on the road to Elimination Chamber and all the good things that come with having a party in Chicago. So thank you guys again for joining me tonight. As we say every single week with Mark by Wrestling, don't forget to be a mark. Being a mark means you believe. Believing, if we can say this in any other week than tonight, believing, just like Joe Hendry, makes wrestling better. Thank you guys so much for being with me tonight. I'll see you again very, very soon. Take care of yourself.